All right. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jamie. It is November 14th, Monday. And this morning, before I head in, what I wanted to talk about was cryptocurrencies and just my opinion of what's going on and what I'm doing. Really, just what I'm doing is all that matters. Not because what I'm doing matters. It's just as a conversation of like, hey, what are you doing? What do you got going on? The other video I just mentioned that I sold pretty much all of my cryptocurrencies. I just sold them. And the reason I sold them is just like I would a stock if I had no confidence in a company, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, whatever company I thought was on a hot downtrend and free fall, then whatever value I had, for the share price. I mean, granted, if I'm an investor and I'm like, it doesn't matter unless it's going to zero, or I thought it was going to zero, if it goes down, because I'm going to hold it for 10 years or longer, or 5 years, or 10 or 20. But if I'm looking at the short-term plays and I'm like, this doesn't look good right now, that is probably why a lot of earnings you see that investors pull out when they miss, right? Or there's some negative news, or right, because it's that short-term action. And those option trades, when people are trading options, whether you got a put or whether you're shorting a stock, which I haven't really done very much, but when you short a stock, and let's say you bought Tesla at 195, and you're like, woo, I think I hit the bottom, and all of a sudden it just starts plummeting. I'm sorry, if you're shorting it, you think that you short it at 195 because you think it's going down to 120, and all of a sudden Tesla starts to rally, or whatever said company is, and you're shorting it, you're betting it goes the other direction, and it just starts to skyrocket for some reason. I don't know, like the Cybertruck comes out early, they're able to start releasing them, and they have 1 million orders, and they're starting to fulfill those orders, and you didn't know that. Then that would be an unexpected thing, and now the share price starts to rise, and you're shorting it that it's going to go below 195, and it just starts going to 200, 210, 220, 230. So you'd have to, buy back those shares at 195, and you'd take a loss, right? The difference between 195 and wherever it went up to. Let's say it went to 300, you take a pretty big loss. So that's what I think a short squeeze is. But I don't get into that because I'm kind of afraid to short companies like Tesla. But maybe down the road I'll get more into it, because I know there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of people that are bears in short stocks. Anyway, cryptocurrencies right now, I have that same sentiment, like with the SBF. Oh my goodness, his name is everywhere. Sam. Is it Sam Bankman-Fried? I believe it's Sam Bankman-Fried. He is all over the news with FTX, and it doesn't look good. It looks pretty negative. It looks like there's a lot of shoddy stuff and some practices that were done that were, I don't want to say malicious, but that were I don't want to say criminal either, because I don't know enough details to really put myself out there and say, hey, this is what's going on with FTX. It does look like the company also owned a market maker with his I had to stop the video for a second. Alameda Research, that was the name of it. So the story about that you could find out again. I'm not trying to tell the story, right? There's some videos out there where if you want to find out about Alameda Research and Sam Bankman-Fried and his story and what they think happened and what was going on, and they're saying that now, I was listening to BitBoy crypto channel the other day, and he's over 1 million subscribers, just like Altcoin Daily, and those guys live and breathe crypto. So you can get all the details over there. They're saying that they're the reason that Binance had a dip. They were like kind of exposing Binance, and they caused the Celsius thing that happened, as well as those Voyager and all those other companies, 3 Arrow. So for me, it's not about crypto that is the problem. It's these platforms, these corrupt people like FTX and or Sam Bankman-Fried and the people that are manipulating that stuff. Whereas Alameda Research was a market manipulator in the crypto space, and they were taking advantage of that, pulling funds and moving the market because they knew what was happening, which is the problem, and which is why maybe some regulation is needed. I don't know, but the fact is I sold all of my cryptocurrency other than XRP, but I haven't given up on cryptocurrency. I'm not gonna not ever buy cryptocurrencies. It's just I'm gonna take a step back and all right, let me see what's going on here, right? I don't know what's happening. I just know that there's some extreme volatility. There's a lot of negative news. It's just like if I was going to fly to my wife's country, Lebanon, or if I was going to Ukraine. Beautiful places, but maybe there's some stuff going on there that makes it not the ideal time to go there, right? So I think that with what's happening with cryptocurrencies today, this week is going to kind of unfold some more stuff. And I listen to guys like Altcoin Daily, like channels, as far as just to get some information. Bitcoin, around the blockchain, because those are different perspectives. I'll listen to Josh, Stocks with Josh. You probably know these guys. I mean, I could link them, I guess, if it's worth doing that. But I like to get some information and then do my own research, my own due diligence, as they say, and then make my own decisions. Because I want to own whether I'm right or wrong. I don't want to blame someone and say, oh, he or she told me to do that and they were wrong. Because they may be wrong. And they're just like if I say, hey, here's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to go out and do what I'm doing. I'm saying, here's what I did and I failed, or here's what I did and I succeeded, or hey, what do you think? Like if I said, hey, where are you buying your XRP? I like XRP. I'm buying it on Uphold. You might have another place you're buying it. Hard wallet, cold storage, whatever you call it. I don't know enough about that at this very moment, but I will this week about saying, okay, I'm going to wait and see if Bitcoin falls below 12,000, 13,000. Do I think it's going to 3,000? I don't think so, but do I think it could go to 8 to 10? I think it's possible. Do I think it'll go to 10 to 12? Very possible. Do I think it'll go under 15? Likely, right? These are just my price targets that I'm hearing that I'm like, all right, if it gets in that range, do I think it'll go back up to 70, 80, 100? Or, will it go over all-time highs over the next few months or years? I do believe that. Ethereum, same thing. And then all the other coins that are out there. Not all of them, but like a handful of them. And I thought that Stocks with Josh, he did a great video just, I don't know if it was today or the other day, where he talks about here's 10 stocks that he's buying daily. Now, I don't want to buy those daily because I'd rather wait. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars like some guys do that they're investing in crypto. I'm not doing that. I'm investing some tens of thousands, in like less than 100,000, less than 50,000. How's that? And that is what I'm allocating. And it doesn't mean I just want to go all in, right? Like I don't want to just put, let's say 50 grand, or whether you're putting $500 or $5,000 and just put out like, Bitcoin, woo, let's go. I'm not doing that. I'm, especially right now, I'd rather say, okay, of my allocation, whatever that number is for you, I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I'd like to own some Bitcoin. And so I'm going to DCA when it hits a certain price target or starts to fall below, because I heard it said that it doesn't matter if you catch the bottom, because who really knows the bottom unless you're like an absolute insider controlling the market maybe. But if you're like, okay, I think it's 10 or 10 to 12, so if I start buying it at 15, 14, 13, and it does go up to 50, 75, 100, what do you really care? Like if you said I started buying it at 15 down to 8, right? And I just bought a little bit, and then at some point it drags across the bottom and then begins to eventually go back up, and then we'll be glad that we did that. Now, how we store it is different. I've never heard of this. I mean, I have heard of it, but the cold storage or the hard wallet, whatever that, the ledgers, I've heard of it, but I haven't really investigated, because my fear is I heard stories about people that would buy, Bitcoin, and they had all this Bitcoin locked in their computer, and they threw it away, or they can't remember their password or their seed phrase, or maybe that it gets damaged, right? And then what? Now, like, whether you have $100, $1,000, $10,000, millions. Some guys had millions of dollars locked up, or lost, or destroyed in this hard drive type thing. And that's my perspective of a ledger, or a cold wallet, or whatever, hard wallet. So I guess I have to really research it more, because I've been closed-minded. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. But now I'm fearful of the exchange, other than Coinbase for me, because I think that Coinbase, it's a publicly traded company, regulated to some aspect, as far as I know. And I feel like my money is safe there, even if something happens to it, because they offer you $1 million guarantee. Now, I stopped my subscription for now, which is $30 a month, but I'd also like to trade them. But maybe I've just been waiting to see what happens. So I could change my mind this month. I don't know, but I do know that I will buy more crypto on Coinbase. As far as leaving it there, I'm not 100% on that. But I would like to do this hard wallet ledger thing. I just have to do a little more research. I do want to buy more Bitcoin and Ethereum. Josh, the guy from Stocks with Josh, he was saying around 1,000. I was hearing 600, but like if it gets under $1,000, I would start buying Ethereum. And Matic, he mentioned Cardano. I don't know about Cardano, but he mentioned Polygon. He mentioned Matic. He mentioned Chainlink. He mentioned what else did he talk about? I wrote it down on a little pad, because I'll listen to somebody say, here's the cryptos or stocks or what that I'm looking at, and then I'll do my own dive, right? I'll look into it and I'll say, yeah, I want to buy some of those. I think that makes sense. And some of them, if you buy 100 coins or $1,000 worth or $100 worth or whatever, and if you catch it closer to the bottom, 1 or 2 years is going to go by, right? God willing, your health goes up and nothing crazy happens in the world. But you figure if we get through 2023, 24, regardless of what that looks like and how low these cryptocurrencies go over this time frame, we may be very happy that we started to accumulate some of these tokens, that have come down. So as far as stocks go, as far like companies that sell shares, that's as far as my investing, that's the majority of where I do my trading, swing trading. Investing is separate, and then real estate to me is, I love real estate. That's the biggest thing. I just reached out to a guy. He's called, I'm going to give him a shout out. It's the ADU guy. I saw him on Bigger Pockets, which I love Bigger Pockets. And he was he actually does the work. But it's like, I like reaching out to people in that space and having these conversations, because I'm like, hey, I have a property that I want to convert into a 3-unit. And hey, what do you think, guy? What do you think, ma'am, miss, right? What ADU miss, right? Instead of the ADU guy. I'm open to it, because they're going to make some suggestions or have some skill set or practices that I haven't maybe done, even if they're not in my market, even if they're somewhere else. They might say, hey, try this out, and here's what I did that worked well. My goal is to build my portfolio, to keep growing it as much as I can with the time that I have, so that I'm a good manager of my money, right? Again, you can't manage what you can't measure, okay? So anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's my thought of the day. I guess this is going to be a short video, but I sold all my crypto other than XRP, but it doesn't mean that I'm out. I still will take a portion of my money that I am, investing or trading or, whatever, and I will get, I'm not really trading those coins, but I want to still invest in the cryptocurrency space. I just think that right now for me, it's a scary place. And I want to wait and see what happens, what develops over the coming days and weeks before I personally start buying back in. And in that time frame, I am going to look into the hard wallet and I'm going to look at, you know, price targets. Like I'm gonna have a plan and say, okay, I'm gonna buy this many coins of Ethereum, right? Or if I'm gonna buy this many more Bitcoins, right? And if Bitcoin comes down to 10 grand or so, I mean, I would love to have 10 Bitcoins, you know? At one time, well, anyway. So sometimes if people buy a bunch of anything, like it could be like baseball cards, Pokemon cards. It could be Mattel toys. You know what I had one time when I was a kid? I had these robots, these giant robots that when I was a little boy, and I was looking on eBay. I can't remember the name, the Godicon or something like that. Maybe I'll throw it up here, but they were the coolest toy, right? They're die cast metal, and I played with them for hours, right? I still remember that. And today they're worth a lot of money. You know, today they're highly collectible and they're really valuable. So there's things that we had. I had a 67 Camaro when I was 15 years old, and that Camaro today would be worth, I don't know, 40, 50, 60,000, depending on, you know, what engine and transmission, I guess, and how original it is. But when I bought it, it was $600. And granted, it needed work, but I mean, there's things that we had nostalgic that today, right? Had you held them, you're like, oh man, if I still would have had that thing, it'd be worth a ton of money today. That kind of seems to apply to a lot of things, right? So anyway, that's my idea with the coins that are available. I'm like, I do think they are going to be valuable. I think 10 years from now, 5-10 years from now, we'll look back at this moment of what happened this past week, especially in addition to all the other stuff that's going on, and go, wow, I remember when that happened. Just like we're going to say, I remember the COVID, I remember the housing market crash, like things in our lifetime, right, that have happened in my lifetime. The development of the iPhone, you know, cell phones and the internet, and these things that have happened, an electric car. There's some pretty major things that happened in the past 50 years. So, all right, I'll see you guys next video. I hope you guys have a good Monday. See ya.